doing in the break, interviewing some of the successful entrants in this year's 2022 Women's Challenge Cup. We wish all the teams in the Women's League all the best in the Premier League, week in and week out, in the final series, of course, inside the midweek knockout comp, which is the Women's Challenge Cup. We wish them all the best. Now, we move on to the men. Now, after Football Federation took the Federation out, it was now back to FA Cup. Someone else has got that, apparently. So we've gone with the Australia Cup. And I said, what a worthwhile title, considering all parts of Australia have entered this. And, of course, we get one selection through to round 32. So let's see how we get to that round 32 by now moving over to our assistants at the table as we go into the Australia Cup for 2022 draw. New logo, new competition title, but the same dream. First up, into the barrel goes Untitled FC. Don't forget we have 12. We'll only pick 9 tonight because 3 are down in Alice Springs. Who else is going in? We didn't make it in. Sorry, John. Okay, next in will be Darwin Hearts. First time, and I welcome Toby. He's here tonight. Garuda will feature in the Australia Cup. Port Darwin. Good to see Ricky, their president at the back there. Thank you. Also going in there will be this next team. Whoops, Paula nearly dropped that one. Kazarina Football Club. The winners of the NT final last year in what was then the FFA Cup. Darwin Olympic Sporting Club. Good to see Peter and his team. And they'll be entering into the barrel. And joining them will be Litchfield Football Club. Hello, Greg. From Litchfield. And a bye will go into the round 4. Right, let's see who plays who in this first round. Not far away, 29th of March, these two teams will appear. Who are they? They may be a bye, they may not be. First team in, home team, first game out, Darwin Olympic Sporting Club. It seems to run in the family. Girls in, now the men. All done. And they're going to be playing Garuda. So first time in, up against the red and whites. Right, second game. Port Darwin, home team. 5th of April, who will they play? Will it be a bye? No, they'll be up against Litchfield on that night. Be a good game, that one. We move to the third game of round 4, 12th of April. It's not far away. Untitled threatened the last 2 years to make and get through to 32. In the game again, dreaming again. Kazarina last year made it through and then went on to round 32. They'll be taking on Untitled in the third game of round 4 of the Australia Cup for 2022. We now move to the fourth game. One of these teams will be a bye, and that is the home team, a bye. And we know the other team, but in you go, Darwin Hearts. So you'll be looking at a round 2 if you beat the bye team. Right, we now move through to round 5 of the 2022 version of the Australia Cup. Remember, if you make it through to 32, round 16, round 8, round 4, and you win it, you're off to the Asian Champions League. Middle Aces Football Club, of course, champions of 2021, now move into the second round, and they will be the home team in the first game of what we call round 5. Oh, sorry, into the bin, my apologies. Oops, sorry, I got ahead of myself again. I want to go home and eat. Hellenic Athletic will join them in that barrel as well. Of course, they were the premiers. Good to see Dimmy here. Got them all through 21 rounds. Winner of match 1 will also go into that. Winner of match 2. This should be the winner of match 3. Gotcha. Johnny. Okay, winner of match 4, just to put me off, and the winner of match 3. All right, in they go. Now, out of this 6 teams, 6 teams. Let's just see who makes this second round. Who will have a Kazarina or a Hellenic? Will they play each other? We'll see. Right, first team in, home team for the match 5 is Middle Aces, champions of 2021. Their first appearance in the 2022 Australia Cup will be on the 26th of April. I think that says from here. And they will be playing the winner of match 4. So they're up against Darwin Hearts, straight through to that round, where you'll face the black and yellows. Right, we now go to the second game, which is match 6, and that first team out is our premiers from last year, Hellenic, who will face off against Hellenic on that 3rd of May match midweek at Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium. Who does Hellenic have? They'll play the winner of match 2, Port Darwin or Litchfield. Home team in the 3rd and final match of round 5 is the winner of match 1, that is Darwin Olympic and Garuda. The winner will see themselves as a home team in the second round, or round 5 as we call it. And they will be playing on that night on the 10th of May, the winner of match 3. So either Untitled or Kazarina. There we have what is the pool rounds. We now move to the semi-finals of the 2022 season, the Australia Cup. Into the barrel go the Alice Springs winner. 3 teams entered this year, and we all know, if anyone attended that night when Verdi took on Hellenic, the quality and the polish that Verdi brought to that game was inspiring. Hellenic had to do and dig deep to win that one. Joining them is the winner of match 5, I think it says. Yeah. Thank you, Surrender. Also match 6, thank you. And match 7, thank you. Let's see who has a pathway to the semi-finals in 2022. Paula does the 12 of the green balls. Out comes the first home team in the semi-final, and it will be the winner of match 7. Winner of match 7. Olympic, Garuda, Untitled or Kazarina. They will play on the night, the Alice Springs team, who will travel up by pack saddle. We now move to the second semi-final, TBC, but likely to the 17th of May. We'll see. The winner of match 6, Hellenic to Port Darwin or Litchfield, and they will play on that night in the other semi-finalist, which will be the winner of match 6, 7, 5, I can't see it, sorry mate. We have to get bigger font next time. 5. So Middle Aces and Darwin Hearts. Right, semi-finalists. Let's see who's the home team out of those 4. So we'll put 2 teams in. The winner of match 8, followed by the winner of match 9. In they go. Right, this is for the home team in the final of the NT version of the Australia Cup for the first time in 2022. The winner of match 9 will be the home team. Dear Math, someone's got an interesting run through to that. And the winner of match 8, of course, will be their competitor on the night. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, please, for all those teams that have entered, which are 9 from Darwin, 3 from Alice Springs, 12, which is our highest number in that midweek competition throughout that period. What we'll do now is we'll have a break for some media. We'll also be doing some interviews for our social media, which we'll do over here as well. We've just got to make and set that up. On behalf of Football NT, we thank you for joining us on the live streaming first of all. I'm sorry about some of the feed and some of the interruptions you had in the first half. We hope it was smoother in the second half. On behalf of Football NT, thank you for your support. We really love your support, and we've found that live streaming has enabled us to find a whole fresh bunch of supporters of football. And some of those supporters are well outside our boundaries and outside our country. So I know that our live streaming week in and week out has a lot of people watching from outside the NT. So we hope you'll join us when we introduce the Australia Cup for the first time in 2022 at Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium. For now, the live streaming has come to a close. We thank you so much. Have a great night, have a safe night and a good week. Good night. Welcome to the draw for 2022 of the Women's Challenge Cup here at Football Northern Territory. My name is Bruce Stalder. This is FNT TV. Next to me is Ellie McCrillis, the captain of Hellenic. On my right is Maddie Hadjic, or on your left, the coach of a really powerful football team and a powerful club. The statement they make week in and week out about the women's game is one of support. They always aspire, always play hard, but play fair. I'd like to say, first of all, to Ellie, congratulations for being here again tonight. Fantastic season last year. I know you'll be disappointed you didn't win the championship, but hey, it was a great season, and you also were the inaugural winners of the Challenge Cup. How was that?
Yeah, last year we worked really hard to get to the finals of the Challenge Cup. We're very excited for this year, I think. Disappointing in the final last year, but we're ready, coming back stronger this year, I think.
Now, I noticed you were talking to the NT News guy about getting back into training and all that sort of stuff. How's the body feel? How's the team feel to you so far pre-season?
Yeah, good. We've been worked pretty hard. Yeah. Yeah, the girls are working really hard, getting down. We've been getting around each other, especially when it is challenging, pushing each other to, get fit.
Yes. Well, good luck with that. Maddie, I was really listening to the interview with NT News, and Ellie's talking about the younger players, and she's like 22 herself and one of the senior players in the group. How do you gel some of your older players with your babies coming through?
Yeah, that's a tough one for us, actually. We've been trying to think about how do we merge that, bring the young ones up a level and the older ones down a level to sort of do something that involves everyone and keeps everyone interested. And yeah, Ellie's been with us for 10 plus years, and so captain last year, and I realised she's only 21, 22. So there's a lot of young girls coming up looking up to her as well, like she did to the older ones before her. So yeah.
Now, she also mentions the pre-season. A little giggle there about some of the work you've been through. How do you see the team, and how do you see the year heading for you in 22?
I'm wondering what she means by they've been working hard. Nah, they've been working. They've been training hard, rocking up, doing the right things.
Yeah. Okay. Now, just one final question to you. You've had success in the week in and week out. You've had success in the midweek competition. Do you coach any differently when you approach knockout football?
You just sort of divvy up the days and how much break time you get in between, whether you do a recovery session or whether you do something more intense when you're not playing. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Maddie, I wish you all the best in 22. Ellie, always wish you the best in 22. A famous name in football, the McCrillises. My name's Bruce Stalter. This is FNTV. It's been really good to speak to two of the key people from Hellenic in what has been the night where we've drawn a whole series of teams out for the 2022 FNT Challenge Cup for women. Welcome to the 2022 Women's Challenge Cup here in Darwin in the Northern Territory. This is Football NT TV. I'm joined by Ellie on my left and by
Alex
on my right. Alex, I'll start with you. A couple of questions. When we were doing some commentary together, you talked about the opportunities that weren't there for you when you were a young girl playing football. How good is it now for Layla, your daughter, and others, and particularly yourself, to get involved in women's football?
Yeah, well, it's way more opportunities. They actually get to play. I couldn't get to play beyond the age of 11. There was no girls' teams. You weren't allowed to play mixed. Had to wait till I was 15. So I played other sports. I think I mentioned that to you. I just did basketball, athletics. And then now with potentially all girls comps coming in and the fact that they get to play seniors when they get a bit older, it's great for them.
Now, you involve yourself in coaching as well and looking after the younger ones coming through. You've made a change this year from Kazarina to Port Darwin. That's a pretty important one for the club. What's your role going to be at Port Darwin this year, you think, with the women's game?
Sort of doing everything, I guess. I've already volunteered. I'm coaching the men's Div 1.
Yep.
Trying to avoid taking on any more responsibilities in coaching my son's team, but yeah, it could happen.
Look, I wish you all the best with the move to the new club. It's a bit of more of a family home now for you, because that's where Ricky is, your husband, is the president, and of course your kids there as well. So I wish you all the best, and I want to take this opportunity to thank you for what you give back to the game. You give a lot back. Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce.
Okay, just stay there with us for a minute. Ellie's got a couple of questions. You moved from Kazarina to the Hearts, and the Hearts girls, the thing I really love about them is that they might lose a few games, but they just love playing football. There's smiles on their face. Do you enjoy playing with them?
Yes, very much. Their resilience is something to be proud of.
That's a great word, resilience, because they go in, they mightn't get what the result they want, but they're just so happy to be there. Now, when you came to the team with a couple of other players, they actually started scoring some goals, and they were so excited about that. So this year, what are you looking for from the team?
just working together is most important and never giving up. I told them to keep up the spirit. Yeah, keep up the spirit.
Well, they did keep up the spirit, and one of those spirits is going to have to be midweek knockout game. So you're prepared for that, being part of the FNT Women's Challenge Cup for the very first time?
Yes, we've been training over the holidays and this year too. So, yeah, we're getting the young ones, the younger players on our team ready too. So.
Well, Ellie, thank you. You're always helping as well. You're always coaching, so it's great to see you, and I wish you all the best with the young ones as well. That has been Ellie from Darwin Hearts, and we've had I call her everywhere when she's on the pitch because she's everywhere. But I'd like to thank everyone here tonight, Alex included, for their participation in what has been a fabulous draw for the Women's FNT Challenge Cup for 2022. Good night. Humid Monday night here in Darwin in the Northern Territory. We just had a draw of the NT version of the Australia Cup for 2022. I've got two people that featured so prominently last year in our week-in, week-out competition. On my left is the coach Dimmy of Hellenic Athletic Premiers in 2021, and on our right is the centre-back extraordinary, Mr. Alex Turner. Alex, I'll start with you first. A couple of questions. When you play midweek football and it's knockout and you play on weekends, do you approach those games any differently?
I think at training, sort of after the weekend game, sort of have more of a relaxation session, more recovery to get the body ready, because obviously the cup is main priority for us. The big stage is what everyone dreams of. So you put a little bit more, I guess, preparations for those games than you would on the weekend. Yep.
And you're known for last-ditch efforts. You never give up. Do you find you do more of that in a knockout game? There's more stretching of the body, more pressing and more desire to win?
Yeah, 100%. I think the whole mind over matter sort of thing, your mind sort of changes in those games and your body can do a lot more than you think. And in a cup game, that last-ditch tackle sort of becomes a little bit easier than on the weekend, definitely.
Now, I think I'm right in saying with another club you did go into the round 32, is that right? How was that for you?
Yeah, so I was very lucky to be the first occasion with Olympic, and we versed Adelaide United that year, and it was just an unbelievable experience and one that stays with me. So it's sort of saying every time I play, I look forward to try and get that stage again. So yeah.
And you can talk about it with other guys you've been there. So Alex, always good to see you playing football. I look forward to 2022 with you, mate. I'll now ask Dimmy. Dimmy, you coached them first time for last year, and it was an up and down ride as it is for a coach. They don't know what it goes through for you, but did you just enjoy it as well last year?
Yeah, I did enjoy the match last year. We went very well, I think. We won the Premiership. We went the grand final for the FA Cup, and then the semi-final for For first year, I think was good, but every year is a lesson. So we learn from our mistakes, and we hope this year to be more better.
And you talked about what you won or what you didn't win, but I think I like about your coaching is that there's a real camaraderie between the players. There seems to be a fun. I want to go out and play for the Blue and Whites. That's pretty important.
Yeah, my first goal every year in my whole life is to make a team with players to enjoy the game. That's my first goal, and I can't change that in my whole life. So if we make that goal, all the others are easy for me.
Now my next question. Oh, sorry.
But you need a bit of luck.
Yes, I was waiting for that. Now, part of that luck is gelling the young ones with the senior players. Now, Alex, everyone thinks he's a 40-year-old player, but he's still young. He's still a very young player. How do you manage the young ones coming up that you want to sort of give a chance at, and those experienced players like Alex? How do you manage both of them? Is it very different?
No, look, we ran a project from last year, reserves and A-grade to work together, because we need that to develop the young players. We look after the other 18s as well. We put a few of the guys in our sessions every week. So yeah, our main thing is to develop the Hellenic juniors. Okay. We have about 250 guys, good numbers, I think.
Yeah, in 11 places.
yeah.
Work that out. Listen, Jimmy, I wish you all the best in your second year. I love seeing you at the game, so I look forward to seeing you again this year. Alex, always good to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, Hellenic coach and captain this year. Mate, well done.
No, thank you very much.
I look forward to seeing the armband on you. Alex Turner, captain of Hellenic in 2022. On behalf of everyone here on FNT TV, thank you for joining us. This has been part of the draw for the Australia Cup for 2022. Tonight here at our draw for the 2022 of what was this used to be the FFA Cup, now called the Australia Cup. It is a knockout competition that goes right around the country. Over 700 teams enter. It is clearly and simply the biggest sporting event at grassroots level in this country. I've got Daniel with us, the coach last year of the Mindel Aces side, the year before as well. We'll get to your little catalogue of victories, mate, but you come here as a champion. You know it all matters nothing now, but particularly the desire to win your way through to the round 32. How strong is that a drive for you?
Oh, look, it's massive. I think for every player in Darwin and the Northern Territory, it's massive because we don't get a lot of exposure. Until the live streaming came about 2 years ago, this was your only opportunity for exposure. So I think everyone still has the feeling of if this is the one that you want to go through on. This is the boyhood dream of playing against a professional club comes from this competition.
Now, you also have a lot of drivers for whatever you do in life in general and in the coaching role you have. Would you, when you approach these games at a midweek knockout against week in and week out, do you find you change in any way in escalating the desire for a win?
Well, it's tough because this competition is at the start of the season, so you're trying to find your feet as a coach with a lot of new players. It's very transient. So keeping a team motivated for 3 games in a 7-day period is tough, right? And you have to motivate them in a different way for an FFA Cup game or Australia Cup game because it's knockout. I mean, there is no second chance. The margin for error is so much thinner. You've got less subs. There's all sorts of other things you have to consider. So it's tough. But hey, we've been there 3-4 years going at this, so we're learning each year, and it's been the one that kept escaping us. So we're trying to make amends on that.
Well, I look forward to seeing you end that escaping. Talking about players, we've got one of your better players here, one who commands himself in the midfield. Matt, it's always good to talk to you. This year from last year, what have you noticed with the pre-season and with the team itself, and how's the body, I guess, yourself?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty healthy. The team's looking good too. Yeah. Again, Dan talked about the transient population, so we've had some boys come, some more some come, some go. But yeah, we've been getting stuck into the fitness work nice and early, so I think come round 1, hopefully we'll be in a good spot.
Now, you touch the ball more than a lot of players in the team in the position you take, and it's obviously important that you distribute the ball. When you're playing with a senior group that Daniel's put together or playing with some juniors, how do you adapt your game in those situations?
I don't like to think about it too much. I just go out and do my thing. I think you've just got to demand the same thing from a junior player that you get from your seniors. Like, they all have to play their part, and you just got to get in and treat them all the same.
Okay. Now, this is knockout football. A lot of those young kids may get a go under Daniel's watch this year. What's your word of advice to them as they head into a knockout game of football?
I think just to play their game. Like, we've got heaps of good young and upcoming talents around here, and honestly, they just got to get out and express themselves and try not to be too nervous because they're good footballers and they just need to put that into play.
Well, I'm glad to hear the body's good. I wish you all the best this year. And you mentioned the word talent. You're certainly one of those. You make our competition better for being in it. Daniel, always good to talk to you. You understand the game. You speak so well of it. I have Daniel and Maddie from Mindle Aces. They will feature in the 2022 version of what is the very first time the Australia Cup. Look forward to it. Kicks off very shortly. Good night. In 2022, we will have not the FFA Cup, but the Australia Cup, our first time ever. We're looking forward to this. Hundreds and hundreds of football teams right around the country into this competition. It's called Live the Dream, and these two guys next to me know how to live a dream. They came back into Premier League last year. Our Coach Port on my right here, on your left on the screen, mate. You had some young kids. You gave a lot of opportunity. One of the best things to see about what you did with the Red and Whites last year was give those kids their absolute opportunity to be themselves. That's what I loved about it. And there were so many individuals in your football team.
Oh, bucket loads. It'll be same again this year. Again, all young kids. Good philosophy the club have gone with at the moment, so we're really enjoying it. And again, one who really blossomed last year is just standing to the other side of us. So we've got a lot of those again in the squad. So hopefully another year older, another year wiser, and we'll be a bit better gelled next year.
I think you're also being a little modest too, because it is a good thing the club's doing it, but you've got to have a coach who embraces it. Yeah. You've got to have a coach in those 90 minutes just works those things like a chess table, a chessboard, and you did that. So how conscious are you of time and minutes in their legs through a long season?
Oh yeah, very. As a lot of the young boys don't probably do the extra miles that the older players would do to get themselves ready for the season. So it's about trying to educate them to get them through. Jack got a bit frustrated sometimes when I pulled him off early in games, but it actually benefited him in the long run. And again, we'll do the same again this year. Yeah.
Now, you managed the squad really well, and we saw all your games and really appreciated the effort you gave to those kids, mate. Now, Jack, I know you're someone else, but I'll just call you Jack. You're one of my favourite players simply because of your energy and your conviction on the ball. When you play knockout football, every one of those stretching exercises you make, every time you've got to go hard, it's going to really matter. So when you play knockout football, are you any different in the way you think about the game?
Yeah, it's a different approach because that game is a knockout game. You don't get a second chance. So you'll give your all on the pitch and just work as hard as you can. So you approach the game differently, you warm up differently, you play differently. So yeah, that's what I try thinking in the back of my mind when I play. Just give 100% as you wouldn't in a normal game per se. So in a knockout game, just give it all. So yeah.
Yeah, and there were a couple of key words in there. It was just your commitment, give it all. I find you do that week in and week out, and I sometimes worry about your body. I'm glad to hear your coach sometimes give you a rest because you really do put your frame to work. So no one bigger, no one smaller matters to you. You just go for it. Is that how you've always been as a footballer, as a kid? Is that what you were like when you were 4 and 5?
Yeah, just that's the way you got to approach it. Like even growing up, my dad told me the same thing. When you play, give it your all no matter the game. Even if you're down like 2-0, you just keep working hard. You never know what could happen. So yeah, that's how I approach it.
Well, I love your approach. I love your way you play. You know I'm a fan of yours, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in those midweek games. I hope you go well and truly deep into the competition because I think you've got a lot to offer. Jack, always good to see you. Damon, always good to see you, and congratulations on your year. I look forward to another successful one for you. This is the coach, Port, and Jack, who sits in the midfield and touches the ball a hell of a lot. This is the Red and Whites, back in 2022 for the Australia Cup. Hope you can join us. We're back soon. Here for the Australia Cup draw, we've had 12 teams enter, 9 from Darwin, 3 from Alice Springs, and like around the country, over 700 teams enter this competition. It is simply and singularly the largest competition for grassroots football in this country. It's called the Australia Cup from this year onwards. So excited to have George Singh, the coach of Darwin Hearts, and this little man, Sulev Muskie, who's now with Darwin Hearts. I would say the spiritual home for someone like you too, mate, but we'll get to that in a moment. George, I'll go to you. Hearts are on a rebuild. You've got them into the midweek competition. You've got them in the week in, week out competition. What are you hoping to achieve from this club this year?
Oh, well, they've actually had a really hard time last year, sort of hit the bottom, rock bottom. So my job is to come in this year and recruit, as well as we can, and definitely move them into a competitive stage.
Now, when you do that, it's all about confidence. So how do you build confidence in a player and then confidence in a team? Is it a matter of just getting all the players confident and the team is, or is it different?
No, it's different. Confidence comes from being able to execute stuff that you are taught. Yep. And that is going to come from repetitive, week in, week out of hard training. And we started our preseason reasonably early because when they asked me, and I sort of warned them that if you do not prepare early before time, you will always, hit the obstacles in the season. So we've been reasonably okay. There's instances of obviously having injuries even before the season starts, commitments of players. But I've had a very good bunch of committed boys who at least make 2 days of hard training. Yeah. So that's my idea is to basically, get them to play decent football. So it's enjoyable to watch and it's effective.
All the best for that. Look forward to seeing how you go in the middle of the rounds and into week in and week out. Stay there for a minute. Sulev Muskie, you'll be in a different shirt this year, a different colour. Now, you had a long time with another club. When you come to this club, what are you expecting to do as a really key player, as a mentor in this club?
Thank you for the questions. Yeah. Obviously, I came this club to develop the club as well and the football, Darwin football as well, because as I've seen, club is not doing well. Pretty 2 years when they play MPL. Yeah. But let's see. It's not only if I come and then do it. It's all about everything. It's a structure of football, like how it have to go, how you have to run the club and everything. It's not only me. Everyone have to be together, and I think this year will do good.
Now, we had a lot of people in the audience here tonight, and you're one of them who knows intimately about the success of dreaming in a FFA Cup round of 32. You scored some special goals. A goal that was shared ended up being the goal of the round of 32, was from you when you were playing for Hellenic. So when you come to this game, it has special memories for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, actually, that was a very special day that I had in my life. Yes. That was the best achievement on my life as well. Let's see. Hope I do this year as well. Let's see.
Well, I wish you all the best. It's great to see you back, and you'll be in a different kit, as I said, but it'll be the same Sulev, and I know you always play with a great smile on your face, and you always play committed. George, good to see you back. I know you'll make an immediate presence there. I wish you all the best as well. This is Darwin Hearts, Coach Singh over here, Captain, I assume, Sulev over here. My name's Bruce Stoller. This is FNT TV. Thank you for joining us. This has been the draw for 2022 of the Australia Cup. Well, we had a really hot, humid day here in Darwin. It was special. We really felt it right through the day. It's actually gone into the night time. Most of that sort of heat in this room was about finding out who you're playing in what has been a fantastic night to see where our talent, 9 teams from Darwin, 3 from Alice, they'll do their own draw, to see what we'll have here for our first edition of the Australia Cup. Well known as the FFA Cup before that. Over 740 teams entered. There'll be more again this year. On my left, or on your right, is the president of Uni Azuri, John Kasaris. John, thank you for joining us. A couple of questions for you, John. You've gone so close as a club on a number of occasions. I know it means a lot to you, but I think I know what means more to you, and that is the club performing to the best of its ability every time it goes out.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always looking to perform at a high level. That's what we aim to do, and then go as far as we can.
Now, last year, as I said, you got really close to making your way through. You've had some changes, as it is with Darwin. Players come and go. Still with the same coach, still with the same sort of mentality around that fierce competitiveness. Is that what we see this year?
Yeah, absolutely. We've maintained our coach. Unfortunately, we've had an exodus of some of the more senior players. And that's normal for Darwin, but looking forward, we're bringing up some of our youth, and hopefully they're going to get a crack at playing FA Cup for the first time.
Absolutely.
Cup, I should say.
That's all right. But under your stewardship, that is why you have people coming in and going, and they still have a sense about what Uni Azuri means.
Yeah, absolutely. We're about opportunities, and the more we can provide those opportunities for our youth, the better.
Now, speaking of opportunity in youth, Gabe, it's good to see you here, mate. You're turning 17 in November. Let's not talk about that yet, but happy birthday well and truly then. Listen, you love football. Why do you love football?
Yeah, I've spoken a lot about football, and I think that it's one of the best sports in the world, if not the best. It's a world game, so.
And I bet when you were a kid, you had a ball at your feet in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the bedroom. Did you just sleep on the pillow as well?
Yeah, I always had a football with me. Even now, I still have a football with me all the time.
I can imagine. Now, your family's just football infatuated, all the families. So, again, they'll all be back in various ways. What is it, as a family, that's exciting to play football? Does it just bring you closer together, something to talk about with each of it?
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why, it's just something that we can all relate to, because we all play it and we all watch it, so it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you do, if you're not refereeing or whatever else you do. So, look, I wish you all the best this year, and obviously we're playing up as well, because as John said, there's a lot of players that are senior that have moved on, so you'll get an opportunity. Yeah. I think giving players like you, Gabe, with the talent and your intention and your ambition, I think it'll be a good thing. Do you feel a little scared, or you feel really happy you're going to get chances?
It's a mix of both, really, and I'm a little bit nervous, but at the same time, I'm really excited, and I want to grab this opportunity, just take it by the hands and just go for it.
Yeah, well, you speak well, and you spoke well tonight. I wish you all the best, Gabe. I'm looking forward to seeing you playing up there, matey. You deserve it. John, always good to see you, a thinker of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, this is FNT TV. Tonight we've had John Kasaris from Uni Azuri and young Gabe from Uni Azuri coming up. Wishing birthday for November, a long way off, but hey, I keep looking at him thinking he's like 10. It's amazing. Okay, on behalf of everyone here at Football NT, thank you for joining us on this live streaming, and we'll say good night for now. Good night. Monday night in Darwin here in the Northern Territory, the top end. It's been a hot and humid one, but it's been also a chance for us to find out what teams will play what other teams in what is the 2022 version of the FFA Cup, now known as the Australia Cup. I'd like to first of all welcome Lee Addison. Lee, you'll be at Kazarina this year. You were at Port Darwin before, but more importantly, it doesn't matter where you are, mate. You love the game of football.
Oh, definitely, Bruce. It's one of them things. Obviously coming from the UK, the home of football. Yeah. I just wanted to get involved as much as possible.
And you have. So when you move between clubs, have you noticed any difference in what you're trying to do this pre-season than you did in the past?
Well, we're trying, obviously, with Kazarina, we've got a fixed side, which has been around for a long time. So what we're trying to do is develop them and bring in the younger players as well, which we've been able to. A few, obviously, clubs have loaned us players initially, and then we just developed them, and we've pre-season been going well.
Now, you mentioned your background and where you came from, and you have a famous thing there called the FA Cup or whatever it is, FA Cup, that's it. Anyhow, so it is an amazing thing. I remember as a kid, we'd always sit up and watch it play if Liverpool was playing or whatever. What was your experience with the FA Cup as a kid too?
Pretty much the same. You know, we'd always gather around the TV. You know, it'll start something like 9 o'clock in the morning. And it just keeps going, and all the family will come around and put it on the big screen, as big as we possibly could at my age. And you just watch it, and mum will bring in the food, and my dad will sit there on his chair drinking a beer, that type of thing. We love this one.
Exactly, and it's so good to hear your voice and see you back again, mate. Look forward to seeing you in 22. Marvin, change of clubs, but not a change of approach. You've always been committed to the game. What are you looking for from your own performance with this new team, and in particularly the midweek knockout cup?
This year I'm helping Lee out coaching, so hopefully I can bring my experiences from the past to the younger boys that we've got in the team this year, and hopefully do the same thing again as last year.
Now, when you coach and then you play, what do you take from your playing days into your coaching arena? Is there anything that's a simple transference from one to the other?
No, well, you need to look back on what you've done before, what you've been taught before, and obviously relay that to the younger lads and people that have got different experiences.
And I think your experience with the young ones is going to be key, because you've done, as I said, a lot of games here in Darwin. You know the heat, you know the humidity, and you know what it's like 5 minutes before half time and 5 minutes before full time.
Yeah, that's exactly right, yeah.
Okay, mate, I wish you all well in that coaching role. Look forward to seeing you there. Yowie, you had a chance last year to go down to Sydney in the final 32. We had to travel for the very first time. I said in the intro to the night, you guys were fantastic on the pitch, even better off the pitch. How was that as a gelling thing for the club? Did you feel like you were more united after that game?
Yeah, definitely. It was good to get down there with the boys. It was good holiday, good paid for holiday that we got to enjoy anyway.
We're still paying for it, mate.
And yeah, getting down to go play football on a pitch like that is pretty special, so something we don't really get to do up here.
No, and you did well, and it was good to play against guys that may have had bigger bodies, had more time on the ball, and have better facilities than you may have in your training setting, not necessarily at your game setting. Now, you play in a really key position at the back. You see all the game pretty much, except for the keeper behind you. What's your approach to young kids as they come into your football team?
Just reminding them to kind of stay calm. Everyone starts somewhere. Yeah, I mean, when I first came in, definitely took me a long time to gel into it. So just reminding them that it comes with time and a bit of experience as well. So.
And I think one of the things we like about the way you play is a real certain, you and Reza at the back, there's a pretty certain place. If you're going to come through, you've got to get through you guys as well. When he's not there, how do you adapt to that? And when you're not there, how does he adapt?
Well, we try to make it so we don't have to adapt too much, so the player coming in can kind of slot right in, but it is different every time. But yeah, we just kind of try to communicate the best we can, and get the player coming into the best job he can as well. So.
And if I'd asked you, would you make the final, how you're going to play week in a game? You'd tell me it's just week in and week out again. I'm sure that's going to be the same approach this year. You saw the draw. Is there anything in front of you that worries you, anything that excites you?
No, I'm pretty confident in our team. I think we've got one of the best squads in the league this season, and a very young team, and a very gelled team already, so no worries at all.
From our point of view, the neutral, we're looking forward to seeing you on the pitch again, mate. You're always entertaining to watch, and I love the calibre and the confidence you bring to the game. Marvin, good to see you in your colours in a coaching role. Looking forward to that. Lee, just to hear your voice coming out of the technical area, just make my day. This has been Kazarina here. They're looking forward to playing in the 2022 Australia Cup. On behalf of everyone here on FNTV, thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll wish you a good night. Good night. Every year we know the football's about to start when we do the draw for what was the FFA Cup, now called the Australia Cup in 2022. We're looking forward to it so much. And beside me is Ricky, the president of Port Darwin. We've got Declan, one of the players from Port Darwin. I'll start with you, Ricky. Again, competition midweek out and what you do week in and week out. It's a very different approach from that. But as a club president, I think you want the blue and the clarets to perform in what way this year?
I just want us to be good, competitive, play some good football and hopefully score lots of goals.
And do you expect with the squad that's come in and what you're seeing so far that you'll get that?
Yep, so it's largely a new side, but everyone's working hard in training and there's improvements each week. So yeah, it'll be good. Looking forward to the season starting.
I look forward to seeing how the Blue and Clarets go too. With those changing numbers, there's a certain way you play, and that's been evident over the last couple of years. There's been a transformation in that squad. Declan, you are an important player in that team. You guys don't give an inch, so this way around, and you're playing knockout football, how important it is to make sure every tackle matters, every pass is good.
Yeah, I think every time you play, every tackle matters and every pass is good. It's just trying to get everything to fall into place, and yeah, we'll see how it goes, I suppose.
But you have this real determination and commitment, mate. You're not someone who pulls out of a tackle, you go on 100%. So do you do that more in a knockout game, or do you sort of get it from inside somewhere that you wasn't there before? Because you always play your games like that. Every time I see you, it's committed.
No, I think every game I play, every training session I do, everything is always the same. You play it like a game, and it is what it is.
What about the kids coming through? You hope they see that and learn from that?
Yeah, I think the game needs to be tougher. Challenges.
I like that. But the other thing I'll say is that you're a man of few words. So when you talk to a kid who seems to be interested, what are the things you're saying to him? You know, like he's got to play his way too.
Yeah, well, definitely never pulling out with challenges, stuff like that, 'cause that's how you get injured. So yeah, just give it 100%, and yeah, that's what you need to be doing.
Well, they call this dreaming, the dream for the cup. I think 100% is a very good name to put to it as well. I wish you all the best, Declan. I hope you have a fit year as well. See you every week in and week out. It's always good to watch you, mate. The attitude is clear when you play. Ricky, president role again. You're developing and emerging that club. It's got a culture, and it's a culture that's not all about winning. And I want to say thank you for that as well. It's important for you to actually just build good people.
Yep, yeah, that's where we're going from the start. So new people coming in, they've got to buy into the culture, and yeah, it's important. Like winning will come. People work hard, they have fun, and winning's a byproduct of that. So winning's definitely on the agenda.
Couldn't say any better. We've got Ricky, we've got Declan, all here from Port Darwin. They're in the 2022 version, of the Australia Cup. Look forward to seeing it. We kick off at about 2 weeks' time, and it means our season is underway. On behalf of everyone here at FNTV TV, good night and have a safe week. Over 740 teams entered last year in what was the FFA Cup, now called the Australia Cup in 2022, and a new team this year. And every year when we look down the list of those 700 teams, someone who's been in the game like I have for a long time, we often see teams coming in for the first time. So happy this is happening here in Darwin. I've got Garuda, the president, Toby here with us, first time in the knockout midweek cup. I've got Fabian with me as well. I'll start with you, Fabian. Knockout football, week in, week out football, you guys are making a move up to the reserve grade as well. So that's exciting for the football club and the players who put on the kit and play the game.
Yes, it's a very exciting time for Garuda. I think we're all really impatient to start working, to start these midweek games and hopefully go as far as we can in the FA Cup. So Australia Cup, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Now, it's going to be a while before we all learn what it is, but you've always given your all too. You're in the club. You're not just play, you coach, you try to administer, you do everything you can for this football club. What does it mean to you?
Yes, Gouda is really a social way. It's a way of just meeting people, finding new friends, just enjoying life, I would say. Like just let's say just sorry.
That's all right. So, because what I love about the game is that football's like a universal language. So when you drop a ball down, you guys have got something to talk about, no matter where you come from in the world.
Yes, that's one thing about Gouda. It's just we have, I don't know how many nationalities, in maybe 10, 11, 12. Everyone comes from different countries, but we all talk the same language and we love football. And that's what we find, like this happiness, just see each other and play together.
Yeah, when I see you, actually, that's a good word, happiness. I always see you enjoy the game so much, and I'll move now to someone who's got an administrative job in the club as well. He always has a smile on his face, but that's usually when he's got his little ones around him. Toby, Garuda's in the Midweek Cup. That is so good. You're also going to be in reserve grade this year. Congratulations on that. How important is it for the club to aspire and to dream?
Oh, it's something that we've been looking upon with great envy over so many years. Like every year, we've been in the competition for over 10 years now, and like in more recent times, seeing all the other clubs participate in the FFA Cup and now the Australia Cup, we've always been jealous of that. And finally, we've been given the opportunity this year to obviously step up, and as part of that stepping up process, we are now joining for the first time the FFA Cup, and we're going to give it our best shot. You know what the old saying is with this tournament. It's the magic of the cup, and we'll give it our best shot to try and spring a few surprises, and we just can't wait. The boys are super pumped, and it's a really good vibe at the club at the moment.
And we're super pumped to have you here as well, because you'll bring a real freshness to the game. You always play with a real dedicated Fab, and the rest of the players in the club always are committed to the ball, committed to tackles, and trying to do their best. So this is where it matters. You get one chance, then you get another chance if you get through that, and it just never stops. That's what we love about knockout football.
That's it. Like, it's one chance, but it's a chance, and that's all that matters, and that's all we need. It's 0-0 at the start, and you never know what might happen. And on our day, we feel like we can mix it with the best of them. And you know what they say, it's the magic of the cup, as I keep saying, and we'll hopefully bring some magic on the day.
Yeah, no, what I like about Toby, the opportunity there, a little window, and you've gone straight in for it, and that's exactly how you lead the club, and I look forward to seeing you guys out on the pitch, and I'd love to see the orange. Fab, it's always good to see you, and I thank you again for your contribution to football, and with you and Toby, I wish you all the best. It's a big year for you, but I think, like you, that you're more than ready for this. So we look forward to seeing you. Toby, Fabian, from a team called Garuda. Won't miss them, brightest orange you can get, but they'll be out there in the FFA Cup, now called the Australia Cup, for 2022. On behalf of everyone here at FNTV, good night.